Alright everyone, it's the Elbis and Elbis album review show. I'm joined here with Elbis.
Alright pal.
And today we've got another album review coming at you.
Yes.
And last week we performed... it was sort of... last episode, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, last episode.
Yeah.
And in a way, this is almost a forced episode because the Elbis and Elbis album review show nearly ended because of, what should we say, depression?
Quite frankly, I forgot what I was for about an hour and...
You did, didn't you? Yeah, you want the Elbis album
it was just like an empty figure of just something, I don't know. It was just like... And it was all because of one thing.
Well, if you're listening on YouTube, you won't know what this is.
And I'm glad, I'm really glad.
Once again, the world is against us because we was banned. We reviewed one of the worst albums we've ever had.
Bloody crap.
R.E.M.
Not news profanity.
What are they called?
Automatic
for the people.
Wow.
Now, they have copyrighted us. They can't take a bit of criticism because it was terrible.
It was
and
horrendous.
R.E.M. I've decided it stands for
ridiculous
egomaniacs.
Yeah.
That's it.
Ridiculous
egomaniacs. And they are getting added to the band list.
Repetitive. In fact, I'd say repetitive egomaniacs.
Yeah.
Because all through the album it was depressed. Bloody blunt songs, bloody crap songs, all the way through. Yeah. Except from, what do you call it?
Nice Woman was good.
Yeah, that was
good. Everybody Hurts.
Yeah, great song.
And even Everybody Hurts is a bit depressing.
Yeah, it's still a good song. But the rest of them were just crap.
So
horrendous album, and I'm bloody glad that
they're added to the Elbis and Elbis lawsuit.
It makes me happy knowing that you will not be able to listen to that because you won't be able to get down.
And that, I suppose. But YouTube have banned us.
Yeah, go listen to it on Spotify actually. It's up to you. I am really bothered.
I mean, one thing we did do is we introduced a new feature called Elbis Predicts. However, I don't think it was a great success. So we just sat there. Even though it was 1-0.
Let's try it one more time.
All right,
let's try it one more time. It was a crap album. Well, Elbis has come up with this idea of Elbis Predicts. Now, this is where me and Elbis will do a prediction before the wheel, and try and predict what song the wheel will give out, and we'll get whoever predicts it right gets a point.
Now, at present, I'm very astrally connected.
Well,
I think partially due to my battles with the Dark Lord. Updates shall come later.
Yeah.
However, not later today, another episode. Probably. Yeah. But I've got 2 out of 2. And so it's kind of testing that theorem.
Yeah. We just want to see how astrally connected Elbis really is. And
yeah, and you're having a go as well, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm having a go. Because, I mean, I'm not astrally as connected as I should be, really. But, I've been having a few troubles. Been having a few troubles recently, especially with a bloody Ralph Little and his mate, his bloody stupid mate.
Right, his mate, like Will Miller, I think it's called. Yeah,
he's a jack.
Yeah,
but yeah, I'll give it a go anyway and just see what happens. But without further ado, I should probably take the well. Oh no, we need to predict.
No, you need to. Speak through what is. And
what's on the wheel today? On the wheel today, we've got Michael Jackson, Bad, Hunky Dory, David Bowie, Eminem's The Verve, Razor Light by Razor Light, Bat Out of Hell by Meat Loaf, Led Zeppelin 3 by Led
new
Zeppelin.
Entry if people haven't heard the band episode.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah. And The Stone Roses by The Stone Roses is the album to replace.
And unusually we have 2 eponymous albums present on the wheel today.
2 albums in which...
let's just... Why don't you take you off?
Many... Alright.
Why don't you take you off?
Alright, I'll be 1 second. Alright, I'm at the wheel.
We never did Elbis Predicts.
Oh, God. Hang on a minute. I'll walk back.
Come back.
Alright, I'm back. Right, Elvis, what do you predict from the wheel?
I'm feeling, at the moment, that it's going to be Led Zepp, number 3.
Led Zepp, number 3. I'll go with... I think it'll be Razor Light.
Oh, really?
I do, yeah. I can see Razor Light. Well, let's take the bloody walk.
Go on then, see you in a bit.
Right, I'm here. Okay, well, I think it's about time we fire up those pair flops. Yes.
Oh.
Wow. Well.
Neither of us expected that, but I'm quite looking forward to it.
I am in a way.
And it's a nice short album as well.
Yeah, well, short in songs, but long in length, I've heard.
Well, yes.
So, well, anyway, the album that we'll be reviewing today is Bat Out of Hell by Meat Loaf.
Everyone join me in the...
I'll join Elvis in the recording area. Alright, I'm back.
Now, I can't remember, but is it 1977? Something like that?
No idea. Yeah, I think so.
Oh, hang on a minute. I'm supposed to be looking at the
you need to get the bloody jukebox
bloody hell.
And we've actually, Elvis has done a bit of work with the jukebox, and he's actually enhanced the speaker system on the jukebox, so it should be louder.
If anybody did hear the last band episode with the, what do we call them, Ridiculous Egomaniacs, or whatever it was called.
Or Repetitive Egomaniacs, some might call them.
Now, you will have had a few problems with old Dukey, and it was one of them is we've got a slippery lever, which I have managed to secure with some sellotape, and there was also some leaky fluid, which I've also patched up. So, let me just have a search on old Dukey if you want to update them on any news.
Well, I mean, news.
Bat Out of Hell.
News. Well, there's not much news. So...
Oh my God! Hang on a minute. I think I.
Jesus, you haven't sorted that jukebox out. You've done naught to it. I ain't got any news, so just go watch look at the merch if you want. Go look at the merch. Links in the Twitter bio.
Dukey's all prepared.
Right. Well,
stand back, because.
Right, the first song, the opening song of Bat Out of Hell is Bat Out of Hell.
And what is it? It's
the eponymous song.
Well done.
Well, that was Bat Out of Hell, and what do you say about that? I mean, what an unbelievable start to an album that is.
Well, after wallowing for, 45 minutes, Jesus. Almost feeling, being in a pit of sorrow, almost akin to hell.
It's like,
I feel like I have risen like a bat out of hell. And we're talking about R.E.M., by the way.
It's like R.E.M. have sat and just played, the guitar or whatever, which is louder than the bloody his singing voice, and they're whining and moaning about stuff. And Meat Loaf just kicked on the door and said, right, you lot clear off, I'll show you how it's done. 9 minutes 50 of absolute rock and roll delight, I'd say.
Now, not just once, but I counted a good 4 songs contained within that package.
Yeah.
Now, this is a guy who don't care about money.
No,
because he could have released 4 singles, segmented that and released it as 4 singles. He don't care about money.
No.
He just wants to create
he's a content creator.
It is a rock
just like Elbis and Elbis. He cares about the content he puts out. He doesn't care about anyone else. He just wants to put out what he wants to put out. And this is exactly what we're doing with the album review show. And this is why, all these bloody musicians, keep banning us or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just like, we're just doing
and
what
I'm pretty confident that Meat is not going to copyright us here.
Meat's a legend.
And that is his name.
Meat is a legend.
He's a legend. You know some facts about Meat, and his name is Meat, isn't it?
Well, Meat Loaf, he's escaped death on numerous occasions, let's just say. He was in a car crash, in which the car rolled over various times. He was hit in the head by a shot put in a track and field event.
I could see how that could happen.
Yeah. And he jumped off stage and broke both his legs.
That's the best one.
Unbelievable.
May or may not be life-threatening.
What an hardcore legend.
Not recommended.
73 and he's still touring today.
Good.
Unbelievable.
I tell you what.
What a legend.
We should send him an email.
You know what?
And if you're listening, Meat, send us an email.
Meat, get in touch.
Elbis and Elbis.
Elbis and Elbis, world-class email at gmail.com. Get in touch. We'll have a chat. And who knows...
Yeah.
There could be a spare spot for the Elbis and Elbis. You could have the oldest Elbis.
Now, the next one. And this is only, and I'll say it again, this is only 7 songs, this album, but the quality you get from each song, it's a craftsman.
Well, I mean, that is an unbelievable
I'm looking
start.
ahead here, but...
It's an unbelievable start to an album, and I don't see how he can follow that up.
Well, let's see. Because the next one is called You Took the Words Right Outta Me Mouth.
I think he's just ransom.
Summer night. Would you offer your throat to the wolf with the red roses?
That'll do.
My God. Well, that was You Took the Words Right Out of My Mouth, and that is some way to follow up.
It really is, isn't it?
Start to an album.
I actually think I prefer that to Battle.
Honestly, brilliant
Another
song.
epic. It's like, again, multiple songs in one. I think I sort of feel as if Elbis and Elbis were to release an album, that it would be a bit like this, but every single song. Do you know what I mean? A story in itself.
Yeah.
Musically magnificent. It's as if he's got a full band playing behind him at some point. It's not just rock and roll.
It's like it's so good at telling a story, as you say. It's every song is a story, and I mean, much like Billy Joel. I mean, Billy Joel, he's real good at doing that. There's a song, there's a story.
But
and Meat Loaf, it's just like every song is just.
If you went back in time, right? If you went back in time to, let's say, the days of Beethoven, was he deaf or was it Mozart?
I think Beethoven was deaf.
Oh well, yeah. Who was deaf?
Beethoven one, I think.
The other one then. Let's say Handel to be safe.
Don't know what that is.
Well, he was a composer. Now he liked his classical music and all that lot. Now if you went back to him, let's say we invented a time machine and went back and stuck some earphones in his ears, right, and played Led Zeppelin to him, he'd probably have a heart attack. But I think if you played Meat Loaf to him, he'd appreciate the rhythmic beauty of it.
Well, it's something unique about his songs where it seems like he's took like the old and the new and just merged them in together.
Amalgamated.
And it's just like put it into like...
Into a beautiful compound.
And then just like presented it to the masses.
I agree completely.
It's just amazing stuff. It really is.
It really is fabulous. And it brings back good memories. Like when it's like... The words, you know, like you were licking your lips and your lipstick shine. Right. Reminds me of, you know, when I was a man about town and on the prowl, let's just say. And I used to get some birds in my time, and it was the the hunt, let's just say, and it describes the hunt perfectly.
Yes.
I mean, you might not know about all this stuff, obviously. But you know, just a great song.
Absolutely
and
ridiculous.
I'm hoping the jukebox don't kick off because I like that song so much I've forgot to tune it in for the next one.
Oh my god!
Now the next one is, I don't know if you'll know it, and I can actually tell you something about the next one before it starts. It's Monkey's least favourite song in the universe, so it could be promising.
I think it'll be the best song on this album.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah. So it's called Heaven Can Wait.
Well, let's have a listen. Well, that was Heaven Can Wait, and just before we review that song, Elbis has got a heartfelt apology to make.
I am sorry. It came to my attention that in the last segment I made a derogatory comment with regards to females, or those who identify as females, or those who are offended,
like the female gender of
yes I did,
the human.
And what it is,
race.
I was just trying to explain that at the time, the previous song to that one, you took the words right out of my mouth, was something that I really enjoyed back in the days when I was seeking company from a gender, let's just say, that was preferable to myself, and I was attracted by
the opposite gender,
visual aspects of that gender, and I hope that clears that up. I'm sorry about that, everybody.
Right, we can move on from that now. I think that's a good apology from Elbis there, and well spoken, pal.
Yeah, thanks.
But that song there, I mean,
needed doing.
When Monkey said that was the worst song she's ever heard in the universe ever, that filled me with hope in a lot of ways.
Well, I know,
it filled me with hope because I knew straight away that song would not be bad. And was it the greatest song of all time? No, it wasn't really. But what I thought was, instantly I thought, this song would be unbelievable live because it was composed and...
Imagine being in a cocktail bar
and
he sits down on the piano
and just plays that. Really beautiful song, actually. Really, I really enjoyed it. I didn't think it was the greatest song ever, and it was really different to the two previous songs. There was no rock and roll about it. It was quite a reflective song, I thought.
Kind of shows his range.
It does, and you know that Meat Loaf, obviously, he's saying, look, I can do all these things. A bit like Elbis and Elbis do. We've got a lot of range. He's just showing the range. You can't have a go at someone for showing everything. Like maybe he should show his range in different ways. I don't know, but I don't see a problem with that song on that album. I enjoyed it. I think I'd turn it up. I wouldn't even done that either.
Turn them all up.
Yeah, turn them all up.
Now, if I was at a bar, even in New York, If I was at a bar...
Well, I'll tell you a few things about some bars in New York. I've been in there.
If I was in a bar in wherever, if I was at a bar with a person whom I am attracted to, very much enjoying their company, and
I've actually been to New York and I stayed at the Waldorf Astoria while I was headlining MSG.
The potential for after hours activity was possible.
All right.
And yet somebody sat down and started playing that song and singing in that way. I would say to them, "Hang on a minute, love. I'm just listening to this bloke here."
Well, it's like I've actually been to New York and I've sat in a restaurant. I've sat in a restaurant / building of public meeting.
All revved up and no place to go. I bet that's what you
have, sat with
I know this one.
God. Well, that was all revved up and no place to go.
I bet he's amazing live.
Still. And I bet he's amazing live as well, actually. Thanks, pal. And that song, honestly, another brilliant song. And it's like, just following up from the last song there, I almost imagine him like walking into like a bar, let's say, in New York. In the place I've been in, obviously, where I've stayed in it. Anyway, so I've, let's just say, walked into this bar and, someone's gone up to him and gone, "Oh, alright, mate, how's it going, pal? You can play piano, can't you?" And he's gone, "Oh, not tonight, lads, just let me have a nice night, just talking
a bit of a loser.
Talking to some attractive female entities." And, they've gone, well,
maybe they're all having a laugh at him. They're all having a laugh at him.
He won't play the piano. He won't do it. So he's just gone and he's played that.
He nervously puts his ticket in. He nervously puts his ticket in.
He does, and he just goes up to piano.
They're all laughing at him.
And he's like, "Oh,"
and he spills his drink.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. And he plays like a flat note as well, or something, like a bad note. And they're like, "Oh God, he can't do it." Yeah. And then he just comes out with the last song, which was "Heaven Come Wait." And they're all just like, "Wow, that is amazing!" We've really, we've really judged the book by its cover, a bit like you did last week with Bridge.
I did, yes, I must admit.
And then they've gone,
I'm guilty of that.
"Oh, mate, that was amazing. Play more." And he's followed up with that. And the club's just absolutely, loving it now. Yeah. It's like, do you know, like Mike McFly?
And there's all the
attractive
ladies of it, the
female entities,
and all
of
that.
which they're loving it and that. And
he's loosened his tie.
Yeah, all the attractive female entities are, all around him, like saying, "Oh God, gives a drink and all that." And but it's a fantastic song. That really was
really good.
Just what the album needed there. And I knew he'd deliver. It's almost guaranteed to deliver.
It's outstanding. Now, sometimes when we get to this point in an album and we are 1, 2, 3, 4 songs in, there's been a few albums recently where we've been sick of it, right?
Oh, well.
Now, let me just tell you
Automatic
this.
For the people.
There is 1, 2, 3 songs left. And I'm devastated by that because I want more.
I wish it was longer. I do.
The next one, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Ah, yes. Well, that was 2 out of 3 ain't bad. And honestly, I don't know if that, for me, is the highlight of the album there.
Right now, this is impromptu as I am, I do that occasionally. An impromptu competition for the fans. Yeah. If you can find one person in the world that can come here to the Elbis and Elbis studio and be strapped up to the supercomputer lie detector system, which I've been working on, I forgot to tell you about that.
Right, that'd be interesting.
And can genuinely say they don't like that song, then you and the person who you bring will win an Elbis and Elbis t-shirt. Because I'm that confident that everybody likes that song. You will not find a person in the world.
That song, for me, it's genuinely, honest. It's just so good, that song. I think it's one of the best for me. And
it's funny because it's like romantic. It's romantic, but it sounds romantic, but it's not when you think about it, because he's saying,
he's not saying,
"No way I'm ever going to love you."
Love.
You know what I mean?
Jog on, will you?
Yeah.
That's what he's saying at the moment.
And this is, it's the power
It's almost
of
like
music.
he wants to love it, but he can't.
Yeah.
Because he's that rock and roll. He just
it
can't.
illustrates the power of music because it disguises the message what he's actually trying to say. He's saying,
great point.
I want you, I need you, but I'm not gonna love you.
Yeah.
You know.
So it's a love song, but it's not really a love song.
Exactly.
It's an anti-love song.
It's brilliant
really.
everywhere. And I tell you what, Elvis. The thing is, this has got to be right up there right now.
Oh, for me, yeah, it's on track to top it.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
If we knew, this is the thing with this album, Generator Wheel, it's like, when we came out, it's obviously, no doubt it's one of the greatest inventions of all time ever.
Wow.
But I think, really, the only fault it has is that, well, it has many faults. I mean, you're bloody up all night every day trying to work on it.
Progress.
But one of the faults is you can't plan for an album because you never know what's going to come out. Like, we sit down, it's always uncut and raw. If we could plan this, I would have come up with a narrative for this. Because I'm pretty confident you can.
But
and I think it would be an unbelievable
you almost
narrative.
have, because you was doing it before. You said there was the fat guy at the bar who nobody liked. He got up. He handed his ticket with his hands shaking and he was sweating. He had sweat all over his shirt.
And there was probably like a girl who he liked as well, and she was there. She was there, and she female attractive entity who looked well in the way she appeared, and he probably liked her and that, but she had a bloke who was a jack.
Yes.
And he was like,
or a female,
or a female partner, or a transgender.
Yeah.
And anyway, she probably felt bad for bloody fat meat who was on the bloody going up on the piano, and they're all taking the mick out of him, laughing at him. And then he produced that and just completely changed the room, and then she got entangled in a love relationship, let's just say.
Yes.
And then a bit of time goes on.
Triangular or a duangular or quadrangular?
Duangular, I think.
Oh, yes.
So, anyway, this duangular relationship that they've concocted.
Right.
I think a bit of time goes on and Meat's making the big time and stuff.
Well,
and he's completely going rock and roll.
I thought it's all done in one night.
Completely going rock. No, I think it draws out a little bit and it completely rock and roll. And this is where this song comes in, and it's like she's followed him on this path and stuff, but he's saying, look, you need to, you can't follow me anymore.
See, because he wants her.
Because he wants her.
And he
needs you.
But he ain't gonna love her.
But there ain't no something. And then, you know what I mean?
But
and then you're saying, look,
it'd
2 out of 3 ain't
well,
bad.
The strength of the narrative all depends on the conclusion.
But what could the 2 out of 3 be?
Well, he wants
in that
her.
narrative.
He needs her. But there ain't no way.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, yeah. So 2 out of 3 ain't bad. That's a great narrative.
If you have a long-term partner, let's say, and, you just can't be bothered to get rid of them, but you think there's better long-term partners out there.
You could be
out
with.
You could just think, is it easy to stay here, or, that sort of thing, I think. Now, the next
But that would
one,
be like, I want you, I sort of need you, but I can't really be bothered to have you. That's what that
and
song
unfortunately, this is the end of the album.
Is it really?
Yeah, because
I'm good.
No, hang on. Yeah, it is the end of the album. 7 songs, because there's 2 live ones, and we're listening to the extended edition, which just happens to be in the jukebox.
No, it's
it is. We're on
that.
No. Yeah, we've got 2 light.
Penultimate song.
2 left. Sorry, I said 2 light. Give away one of the words.
Yeah, well.
Oh well, they'll know it now. It's Paradise by the Dashboard Light.
Great song. Well, that was Paradise by the Dashboard Light, and absolutely brilliant. That.
Awesome.
Absolutely brilliant.
8 minutes.
What a way.
28 seconds.
Oh, was that the penultimate song, or was that?
Penultimate.
Oh, right, yeah.
8 minutes and 28 seconds of pure pleasure.
Yeah.
Now, what I would say is that if you remember The Bat Out of Hell, the eponymous first record on
9
this,
minutes 50
or the first song on this record, was 9 minutes and something.
50
and I
minutes.
think
50 seconds even.
It's almost as if at either end of the scale you have 2 cups of rock and roll.
Yeah.
And Meat Loaf has perfectly balanced it.
Yeah.
It's not heavy either way, and I've got to give him credit for that.
And in between, he's showcased his other talents. In between with what's it called?
The narrative, the story writing,
and
that sort of thing.
What's the song that I like with the piano?
That's
it.
That's where it starts.
And that's where the narrative starts, and then it goes on to 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Yeah. And now I think Paradise by the Dashboard Light has a perfect place in the narrative.
You missed one out actually.
What? No, I mean in the narrative. Now.
Oh, in the narrative, yeah.
So Paradise by the Dashboard Light has a perfect place in the narrative because I think with this song. Like, so Meat's been to the club and that, he's done them 2 songs.
Yeah.
And, he's made it big time.
Probably quite popular now.
He said to this woman, this attractive female entity who he's courting with, potentially. He said, look, love, I can't be with you anymore. It's too rock and roll. I can't drag you with me.
Sick of you.
I want you, I need you, but I just can't love you.
Yeah.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Yeah.
Walks off. Gets does a show and that, and then she gets home. She's heartbroken. Flicks on the telly, and there's a performance on. Meat Loaf's on telly, and he's doing a song with his bed. And anyway, he's
hang on it. Go on. Don't matter. Go on.
And he does a song. He does a song with this other attractive female woman. And she's saying, they're doing the song together, and she's sort of watching on the telly the other woman, and he's I'm heartbroken and that. And that's it really. Not a massive part of the narrative, but it works.
Well, actually, the last song, I don't think it's the best narrative ever. For me personally, I'd have him in one night in a club where he goes from zero to hero, which I won't explain. I'll give you the narrative on this.
I think it needs to be a bit of time.
If the fans want to know my narrative, which is better, send us an email at Elbis and Elbis.
You don't even have a narrative. You don't even have one.
In any case, but your narrative could work because
You're just jealous.
Listen to the last song and it could work for your narrative.
Go on.
So, what's his end thoughts? Just before we go into this.
So what? That's what we've just left it on.
Yeah.
So he's on the telly with his other attractive female entity, doing this performance of Paradise by the Dashboard Light, and this other attractive female entity's at home on the watching the telly, and that comes on, and it's sort of he's sort of getting more rock and roll.
Well, it could work,
but he's finding other entities.
Okay, let's have a little listen.
What's it called?
For Crying Out Loud.
Well, that was For Crying Out Loud, and just an unreal ending to an album.
It's you get all these trendy bands I don't know, Hot Chip and Manson and people like that, and people say, oh yeah, this is the cool music and everything. Well, I would like to get
one
of those
Pistols,
people,
for example.
Well,
punks who think
I'd like to get one of those people, and I'd like to bring them down to the Elbis and Elbis studio. If you know anyone, more than happy to have you down. And I'd strap them up to the
just send us a photo of them first, though.
Lie detector system, and I would play them that, and I would say which album is better. And if they said Hot Chip, I would turn it to Electrocute, and then that would be the end of that. Because there's absolutely no doubt that is breathtaking, that album. It's outstanding.
If anyone...
It's outstanding.
...refuses to like this... And that's what it is, I think. If someone can say they like this album and they love this album, and someone can refuse to say they like this album, which means they do like it, they just don't want to say it.
Yeah, and
that's what it is. That's what it is. If someone said that, they're refusing to like it.
They prefer something with a bit more depth to it, perhaps. They might say that. Depth my ass. That's
there
what
is
I would
nothing
say.
on air like that album.
It's beyond words.
And it's going back to the narrative. It's first, I'd like to say before.
Do you want to do the narrative? You know the narrative, don't you?
Beforehand. I mean, it almost REM doing Automatic for the People.
Yeah.
It
glad that's gone.
Nearly finished me. Honestly, I just thought, what's the point with this anymore? I nearly quit. I was thinking of just quitting the Elbis and Elbis album review show, leaving everything. I felt like saying, look, you know what? I'm just gonna have a normal, miserable life.
Yeah, I know.
And then we listen to this, and it's I feel like I'm reborn. I feel like a new Elbis is back, and straight away I'm thinking of narratives, and a narrative's come to me head here, and it fits the album perfectly.
Now,
and I feel like I'm back again now.
I'll let you do your narrative, and I'll play little bits of the songs if you want. The same as the old-fashioned narratives we used to do. It's got more difficult now. We've got the random supercomputer generator, because you have to have like 12 narratives in your head, and that's
it's ridiculous. Ridiculous.
But this is a natural narrative. Now, what we'll do is
this is a raw, uncut narrative.
The thing is, we always say that the first 2 songs can be the start of the play.
Yeah.
And the first 2 songs are "Bat Out of Hell" and "You Took the Words Right Outta My Mouth."
I would maybe disagree.
But
I'm in up in arms about Batting Hell being at the end.
Oh.
Maybe.
Well, your narrative started with Heaven Can Wait.
Heaven Can Wait.
Yeah.
So it starts with Heaven Can Wait. So like Meat comes into a club. Well, should we play a bit?
Well, hang on a minute.
I'll tell you.
If you hear some clanking in the background, it's difficult for me to do it, because last time we did
sort that bloody slippery lever out, will you?
Hang on. Right.
So
okay. So I think I'm at the right spot. You better hurry up. Shall I do it now?
No, hang on. Hang on. Just hold on.
Jesus, hurry up,
right.
man.
So what we've got is right. So he walks into the club, and like they're all taking a mick out of him, like saying, "Oh God, you can play piano, can't you? Why don't you get on the piano and have a go?" There's this waitress there, an attractive female entity.
Seriously.
He really likes him, and this female attractive entity has a jet boyfriend, and she feels sorry for Meat Loaf. Meat Loaf goes up to the piano. He starts playing the piano. This song is the song he plays. Heaven Can Wait. So, Heaven Can Wait is the song he plays, right? Once that happens, the club's in uproar. The club absolutely loves it. That then transpires to this. They're saying, "Mate, we want more, play us more." So, as Elbis is playing, I mean, that slippery handle, it's obviously got loose. Then he plays this. All revved up with no place to go. And then that goes from... So then you've got them. And then he starts making it big time. Now I'm thinking maybe you use... Oh no, I think possibly...
In the same club.
I think he gets closer to it. So I think you should put "You Took the Words Right Out of My Mouth."
Oh, okay.
With the waitress. I think that's when the waitress and him...
Oh, we're doing that one.
I think that's possibly when the waitress and him are getting closer.
Oh yeah.
And the waitress... And they're loving it. Right. Then he gets a record deal.
Right.
He gets his big break.
Okay.
Then you have Battle of Hell.
Yeah.
Then you have Battle of Hell.
Yeah.
That's his hit.
Yes.
That's when everything kicks off. Absolutely kicks off.
Yeah.
He's loving life. Money's coming in.
Yeah.
Everything's great. He's got the attractive female entity who was the waitress. Everything's going great. But then you get 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Ah, very clever. Yeah.
2 out of 3 ain't bad. His life's sort of taking over. The hardcore aspect of his life, it's just taking over. He can't love this woman anymore because this woman will be dragged down with him. And that's when he has to get to a point where he's got to say, "Look, I'm going in a direction. You can't come down with me. I love you. I want you. But, oh no, I need you. I want you, whatever. But there ain't no way I can love you." That's 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Not bad.
Then we go to... then it was Paradise by the Dashboard Light. This woman's heartbroken who he's broken up with. She's gone home, flicked the telly on, and it's live, this, on the telly, he's playing with this other woman on telly. Well, not like that, just singing the song. Singing the song with this woman on telly, and, you know, they're, like, getting close and stuff. They probably, like, kiss at the end of something, and the crowd goes wild or whatever. So his life, again, like, it's just bloody great. And then I'm thinking, and then the end would be For Crying Out Loud, which is that. And I'm thinking, so he's got to go on a journey where he's got to a point where he's looking back and he's thinking, hang on, I've done all this, but I've got all the money and all the fame and stuff, but what I really want to show for it is this bloody waitress who I left behind or whatever. I need her in my life. He goes back to the bar, and she's like a waitressing and that.
Decent narrative, actually.
And the spotlight comes on, he plays For Crying Out Loud, and they ride into the sun, off into
decent
the sunset.
Narrative.
That's how the narrative
included
ends.
all songs, I'll give you credit. Now,
Good narrative, that, innit? You can't knock that.
No, that is good. I will give you credit, and, you know, I'm surprised by that. There is one thing I won't give you credit for, and that was your derogatory use of terms against women in the last segment.
Well,
So I think somebody owes.
Look, when you're on a roll like this, I mean, I'm very tired at the moment. I've been doing a lot of admin work and stuff, but there's no excuse for it. And what you want? Yeah, chuckling. And I'm sorry I used a derogatory term for women. I didn't mean it like that. I just meant like an attractive female
or
entity, or a transgender, or a gay person. Yes. So I'm sorry I used that derogatory term. Person. And you know, it's a heartfelt apology. I'm really sorry, and it won't happen again. But
good.
Anyway, that'll do.
Apologise. We don't need to.
We don't need to go on about that. But anyway, this bloody female attractive woman, she's like, you know, so got some quality personalities. Let's just say.
Anyway, the last thing we need to discuss today is where does that rank?
Oh my God! Wow! It's huge. This. So obviously the
different classes first. Simona and Garfunkel
is second.
Is slightly second.
Followed by Back in Black.
It's got to be right up. We don't speak about that. Yeah. That's the album that shall not be named.
It's so difficult, this. But we've been through a lot tonight. With Automatic for the People. It made me feel reborn, that album. It really did. It gave me a new lease of life, it felt like. I've created a narrative. Different Class is so good, though. But I genuinely think that there is nothing like that. Different Class, you could maybe get similarities with.
I have an answer to this.
And Battle of Hell, I think there's nothing else like it. For me, it's my number one. I'm putting it at the top.
On a worldwide scale, on a scale whereby everybody has to like it, and you have an absolute mixed bag at your house, like the Dalai Lama's there, and, you know, Ricky Gervais, and I don't know, the Queen, and just
Gandhi?
General. Yeah, he's dead, but you know.
Well, so he's like I don't know.
No, he really isn't. No.
Well, I don't know.
You know, and then
I don't know.
Mammy and a few other people.
What about me?
And you have to put. Well, you have to put an album on to satisfy all. My number one album in the world would be that. I forgot the name of it.
Battle of Hell.
Battle of Hell. It would be. Personally, I think I'm still teetering with Different Class. I think I'm still edging towards Different Class. For one that I want in my ears, it's still Different Class for me. But I think as a general gift to the world, if I was an alien... hang on a minute. If I was picked as the first space traveller of the albums we've aired on the album review show so far, and only the albums we've aired on the album review show so far, so don't go slagging us off saying, oh, there's this and that and this.
They will. They always slag us off.
But of what we've covered so far, and I had to give a gift to a new civilization, and it was a case of they'll either like the music or eat me, it would probably be Battle of Hell.
I think for a long time for me it'll be like we talked about last episode where we had the long debate of who was better at singing bridge, Elvis or Simon and Garfunkel. For me, that teeters all the time. I always think it's Elvis. Then I go back to Simon and Garfunkel. And this will be it for me. I think I'll think Different Class is better, and then I'll go back to Battle of Hell. Then I'll go to Different Class. Honestly, these two albums, all you need to know is that these two albums, Different Class and Battle of Hell, are brilliant. Battle of Hell, I just think, just what Elbis and Elbis needed.
Definitely buy them on vinyl,
anything.
On CD.
Just listen to them. Just
listen
genius.
To them on Spotify,
absolutely genius, and a real, just something we really needed, and I'm glad.
I'm glad. To that album. I feel revitalised once again.
I do.
A new Elbis,
a new album, and we'll be coming at you with a new episode soon. Thanks for listening, everyone. We've been Elbis and Elbis. You've been world class.
The Elbis and Elbis.